From today, these Geopals cards are no longer just collectibles. They're cards you can play in our official Geopals trading card game. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to play the game. The game comes with 2 theme decks, a 3D model, and a copy of our magazine. We have around 100 decks left, and you can buy them using the link in the description. If you want to join our community, please join the Discord. On Discord, you'll be able to play online with other people, and also participate in our treasure hunts, where we physically hide cards all around the world. I can also answer questions that you have about the game on Discord as well. Unlike most games, Geopals isn't based on combat. The aim of the game is to build up your Geopal team and then race your opponent to get to the treasure orb first. Each game consists of up to 3 rounds. The first person to win 2 rounds wins the game. Throughout the game, you can employ different strategies to give your team an advantage or to slow the other player down. And the first thing you need to do is set up your field. Joel's going to show us how to do that. First up, you're going to search your deck, find the Geopal you want to start with, and put it in your play zone. Grab the token that corresponds to that Geopal and put it on the empty field. Shuffle your deck and place it to the left. Then grab your terrain cards, give them a shuffle, and then put them down in the terrain deck zone. Each player is going to take turns putting a card from the top of their terrain deck onto the field. Each terrain has between 3 and 5 stepping stones. The terrains connect together to form a map. At the end of the map, place 3 face down tokens. One of those is the treasure orb. Your Geopals need to cross the map to win the game. There's 8 different terrain cards that might appear. They include Volcanic, Desert, Ice, Water, Mystic, Shadow, Forest, and Mountain. Different Geopals have strengths or weaknesses in different terrains. Now grab 6 cards from the top of your deck and put them in your hand. Then play a game of scissors, paper, rock to see who goes first. Now let's talk about how your Geopals move through the terrains. Each Geopal card consists of 3 key components. The most important one is the max stamina. This is the maximum number of spaces your Geopal can move in a single movement turn. But before you can move it all, you're going to need to equip stamina berries to your Geopal. You can draw these from your deck, and you can move 1 space for every stamina berry attached. This Geopal has a max stamina of 3, but there's only 2 stamina berries attached, meaning it can only move 2 spaces. The second element of a Geopal card is the terrain it's from. If your Geopal ends its movement turn in a terrain that it's strong in, it can move 1 extra space. But if it touches a terrain that it's weak in, it has to stop, and it can't move through that terrain at all. For example, if Zippo ended in a volcanic region, it can move 1 extra space. But if Zippo ended in an ice or a water region, then it would have to stop and it couldn't move at all. The terrain weaknesses are represented in the top right-hand corner of the terrain cards. If your Geopal's weak in a terrain, don't worry, because there are strategies you can use to move it. I'll explain those later. The third and final element of a Geopal card is its passive and active ability. Different Geopals have different abilities that can either give your team an advantage or slow the other player down. Passive abilities can be used without sacrificing stamina, but active abilities require a stamina sacrifice equal to the number of berries shown next to the move. Geopals can also evolve by sacrificing 3 stamina or by using special item cards such as an orb. Once you evolve your Geopal, its abilities will become even stronger. Okay, that's a lot of information. It might sound complex, but I promise you it's pretty basic once you start playing. Joel's now going to show us what a very basic movement turn looks like. These are the cards Joel picked up in his first turn. He's going to attach 3 stamina berries to his Zippo, allowing it to move 3 spaces. Then he's going to play Shadrex. You're allowed up to 3 Geopals on your play zone at a time. Shadrex is a supported Geopal, and its passive ability increases the movement of every runner on the field by 1. Because Zippo's a runner, that means he gets to move 4 spaces. Now Joel's going to move his token across the field. To win the first round, you just need to get one of your Geopals to the end of the map. Select a face down token, and if you pick the orb, you win the round. There are lots of different scenarios that you might run into during the game. We're going to show you what some of those scenarios might look like and how you overcome them. The first is when your Geopal is weak in a region and therefore can't move. One option for this scenario is to play a Terraform card. This will change all the terrains on the field for 2 turns. Now that all the terrains on the field are mountain, Zippo is no longer stuck and he can make a move. Here's another option. If you're neighboring an allied Geopal, you can attach them with an item card named a rope. Now Zippo can go forward and drag Gripple with it. Without the rope, Gripple couldn't move at all in the Mystic region. The next scenario is if your opponent plays a trap. These get placed face down in your trap zone and allocated to a specific tile on the field. If your opponent lands on the trap, it has to stop, the trap then gets activated and a negative effect occurs. Some Geopal abilities help you dodge or destroy traps. There are also some item cards that you attach to your Geopal which can have a similar effect. Once you have a winner for round 1, it's time to set up round 2. Round 2 is pretty similar to round 1, except it's a little bit more strategic, because instead of getting 1 Geopal to the end, you have to get 2 to the end. This can be tricky, because it's likely that at least one of your Geopals is going to be weak to a terrain. So you got to set up different strategies to help that Geopal get through those terrains. To set up for the second round, put your discard pile into your deck and then shuffle it. Take back your terrain cards, then just like in round 1, create a brand new map. Now remember, the first person to win 2 rounds wins the overall game. So if you're coming a draw after the first 2 rounds, you have to enter the tiebreaker. And that's round 3, where you have to get all 3 Geopals to the end. Now it's your turn to see if you can master the game. Right now, you have to play using the theme decks, but in the future, you'll be able to build your own Geopal decks using cards that you get from packs and booster boxes. So that's about it, guys, but let's finish with the best comment competition. What do you like about this game and why? The best 3 comments are going to win a set of Geopals theme decks for free.